Hello guys, Nato Ace here. I'll be playing this game. Of course, I'm gonna play this game, the most anticipated game of 2018. Rockstar Game present Red Dead Redemption 2. PlayStation exclusive. Play select online content first on PlayStation 4. Sadly, content exclusive for 30 days. PlayStation Plus required, whatever. So of course, it's the prequel to Red Dead Redemption. If you played the game on the PS3 and 360, you know it's a great game. It's basically a Grand Theft Auto in the Wild Wild West. And this is a prequel, believe it or not. So that's going to be interesting what improvement they did this. And yes, there has been a lot of controversy with this game. But of course, the big one, crunch time. Apparently there was crunch time issue with this game. I'm not getting into that, so you might say, oh, I can't believe you bought this game. Well, it's damn if you do, damn you don't. You don't buy it. All that work was for naught. You buy it, then it tells them that crunch time is okay. It has to be the BBB and the company. It's up to them to make things right. Now I'm the consumer. I know it's kind of difficult, but in my opinion is, it's a good game. I support it, and I support the game. Not the crunch time, but you know, it is what it is. So what's in the back? America, 1899. The end of the Wild West era has begun. Alright, outlaw for life, so you can read that, you know, if you want to pause it. Alright, so you don't play as the character from Red Dead Redemption, but he is in the game, a younger version. And of course, coming soon, feature Red Dead Online, coming soon, which is Grand Theft Auto Online. You're gonna need Plus, so it's not free, sadly. So one player, of course, the online part. DualShock 2 discs, and I'll show you why. PS4 Pro Enhanced, so soon I'm gonna be planning to get one, or already did, who knows. And here's the big one, 105 gig minimum, because there is a data disc and there's the gameplay disc, no joke. So this game is big. From what I heard, it's just the main game, the main mission. It's 80 hours minimum from what I heard. Again, I could be wrong. Versus this game, 3 gig, about anime girls or the Wild Wild West. Pantsu anime girls or the Wild Wild West. Well, anyway, let's check out what this game is all about. So, what do I think about the game? Yeah, it's a Rockstar game. The minute I start playing it, I start remembering back playing the first Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto. So it has that element, but in the, of course, in the world of cowboys. And before I continue, a little disclaimer about this game for people who don't know. But if you're a Rockstar fan, if you're a gamer, if you know about this game, then yeah, then you'll know about what Red Dead Redemption 2 is. For people who don't know what it is, Rockstar games are M-rated for a reason. They are meant for adult gamers, let's per se. Can teen play this game? Well, yes and no. If you're smart enough and you got logic, then yeah, it's probably okay for you to play it. I'm not saying yes or no, but the reason why there's an M-rated, it's meant for adults. Okay, let's just put it there. And this game, you do play as an anti-hero or a bad guy, let's just say that. That's always usually what Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption game. If you want to play as a hero, then go play LA Noire, because you do play as a detective. But also, that game's more, not just story driven, but it's more puzzle than action than the other two. Alright, so moving on from that one, what are my thoughts on Red Dead Redemption 2? Well, it's awesome. The story, of course, you gotta understand. Spoiler bit for people, but this already been announced on their channel on YouTube. And that is, it is a prequel to the first game. And it takes place prior of the fall of, well, Dutch's gang. Everybody knows that because that's the story for Red Dead Redemption. You play as a character by the name of Arthur Morgan, and you're sort of the lieutenant of Dutch's gang. If you're wondering what happened to him in Red Dead Redemption, how come we never heard of this game till now? Well, that's what's called Red Dead Redemption 2. They're adding new stuff, but they're doing it in a prequel style or set. But if you watch the prequel trilogy of Star Wars, then you'll know a lot of these characters' fate. Maybe not, hypothesis there. So, with that said, I think it's a good game. It refines as from the original one. You have horse riding. This time around, you have a camp. I mean, I'll be able to spoiler there, but you do start, like tutorials start out somewhere in the snow, and then later on you go to the wilderness. But then from there, there's going to be like a camp, and you can upgrade the camp. That's kind of like a common thing, you have your base. If you play Suikoden, Breath of Fire 2, Nino Kuni 2, spoiler bit there, you do build your own kingdom, that's why hence the subtitle. The same goes with this game. You need money, it's the same premise there. What about the gameplay? Much better than the first one. The hub, the mechanics, much easier. There is still a cover system, but it is like any Grand Theft Auto game. Red Dead Redemption 1, same deal. You got Red Dead, so that's basically what's known for that game, which basically everything slows down, and then you mark the people, and then the minute you unleash it, bang, 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 bang. Again, like a true cowboy. And there you go. And best part is, you can do more about it. Now you can now hunt animals, bring them to the camp. In the first game, you can only skin the animal. You don't bring anything because you just skin it, and then you either sell it or I forgot. That was a long time ago. Rockstar game takes to be long. So you can skin the animal, use for materials. I know, kind of like, oh my gosh, that's anti-animal. It's a video game, like I said. 2, you can actually bring their meat. You can bring their meat and then either sell it to a butcher or a meat guy, let's just say that, or one of the characters in your gang. And it improves the camp, it can improve your stats. Again, usual video game, just for adults. And then of course, it's not a Rockstar game without, being a bad guy. Remember, you're an outlaw, you're not a lawman. So you can you go to the store, you can be a good guy or a bad guy. And that's a new thing, so I'll explain it later. But of course, like I said, you're an outlaw, you can rob a store because you're a bad guy. You can hijack someone's horse and sell it. A shop in the Wild West, let's just say that. Or even carriages. There's a point in the game, again, a little bit of spoiler, carriage, and you sell it, and that's how you make some money. There are other side missions, but I'm not going to really reveal them here, but that's just some of them. Because again, the reason I just mentioned those, it's kind of common for those games. Grand Theft Auto did the same thing. The only new thing about this game that never been introduced in a Rockstar game is a morale system. Yeah, for the first time in history, there is a morale system. Grand Theft Auto 4 sort of had like a good choice or bad choice, but didn't really affect the storyline much. I know there's also another part in the end in Grand Theft Auto 4, spoiler, but it's an old game, that you choose which mission you want to do, then the ending is different. Again, of course, it's a Rockstar game, but in this one, there is a morale system, and you can either be really bad or really good, and there are beneficial to it, surprisingly, but I won't get into it. So, what else I can talk about? Now, there's fishing. Yes, for the first time, you can fish, you can hunt, and the best part for Arthur Morgan, I guess a lot of people have had a complaint with the first Red Dead Redemption, is he can swim. Why did I say that? In the first game, one of the mechanics is your character in the first game does not know how to swim. That's the joke. He doesn't swim because they just didn't want to put in the mechanic. And he's a bit smarter, but it's like a LOL situation. Is one of the characters from the first game is in the game. He's just a bit younger. And the best part about this game is there's a lot of voice. Like, I gotta give props to Rockstar. A lot of voice in this game. Whatever you do, they say something. So that is how you do a voice, to some extent, voice acting. That is awesome for what Rockstar did. I know there's a lot of controversy in the past about the game. Believe it or not, I know the history, the crunch time, whether it's true or not, no one knows. But for the game itself, it was really good. And like I said, you do something, they'll say something, and I'll give you a little bit of a hint here. This is funny. So one of the mission here, I'm gonna be vague as best I can. You team up with one of the character in your gang, and this character is gonna teach you how to basically use a sniper rifle, because weapons are weapons. That's a common thing in any Rockstar game. And this character will tell you, try to scare off the particular NPC. Again, I'm trying to be vague here because I don't want to spoil everything because it's a good game. And what happened was, I was trying to scare this one NPC using the sniper rifle, and because sometimes the controls are a little bit sensitive, but that's not a bad thing, I accidentally shot the person. I know, bad me, shame on me. But the thing is, the character will say something, and I'm like, oh. And the character basically will say, well, try to scare off the person. And then I accidentally, because it was just too close, I was trying to be close but not shoot the person, but oopsie. And the NPC says, or you can just shoot the person. And I'm like, wow. A lot of voice. Like, whatever you do, there is voice. That's really awesome there. So, overall, is it better than the first game? Definitely good. It's very awesome. Much a lot of improvement that they wanted. The mechanics, I think, that's better. The weapon system or the weapon wheel, much better in use. And there's more things you can do in the game than the first game. And I know I heard they said that the game takes at least 100 hours just to finish the main story. I don't know. I'm like in, as of right now, but I'm like in chapter 2 right now, but like my impression there, it's really long. The game is definitely long. There's a lot of things you do. Just like Yakuza games, this game will distract you. There's a lot of things that's happening, whether you do a good thing or bad thing. But again, it's like a Grand Theft Auto. There you go. So what score would I give this first impression of Red Dead Redemption 2? Definitely, as of right now, a 10 out of 10. I have seen, there was no flaw in I seen in the game. And if there was a flaw, chances are probably I'm just sucking. There was no bugs that I encountered in the game. The difficulty in the game is not really that bad. There were some times when I get shot, but I guess I just wasn't prepared. But yeah, I mean, you won't die in this game. It's just, if you die, that means you're just not doing good. And the story's really good. Very driven. The voice acting is very good. Especially I like the voice actor for Dutch. Every time I hear his voice, I'm like, is that Jeff Bridges? And I did look at Wikipedia, and it's not really a well-known actor, unfortunately. He's a voice actor, but it's also, he made an appearance in Criminal Mind, showing channel 2 or where I live. CBS, let's just say it, CBS. So yeah, I would give it right now a 10 out of 10. Near perfect game. I know it should be a perfect game. No bugs run. I know there's a game breaking glitch, but fortunately I didn't really encounter it. So, but Rockstar's gonna fix it. So yeah, so again, 10 out of 10 of right now. Maybe I'll do a follow-up on this on the long once I finish the game. So if you really want a good game and you think you need something that's worth $60, yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, man. Highly recommended from me. With that, I'll see you guys later.